Hello, it's Don. All right, we're working on the John boat again. So we're trying to improve on this thing. A long time ago, it was just a plain John boat with a 15 horsepower tiller motor on it. It was a 15 horsepower two-stroke. And with just me in it, it would do fine. It would go, it wouldn't porpoise, it would do everything great. But you know, you put one other person in it and 15 didn't work no more. So we upgraded to the 30 horsepower, which is the same as the 25. And put a remote steering in it, you know, and added some seats and whatnot. And after adding all that weight back here, it developed a porpoising issue that it didn't used to have. And I've been addressing different things, and I've made it a little better here, there, and the other. But unless I trim the motor down, it's still wanting to porpoise. So we've got a couple ideas we're gonna try. I used to have the battery up front, and that didn't work out. So, you know, I switched to that little baby lithium battery there. Look at that little teeny thing, that's great. But what we're going to do now, I put these float pods on here, and as far as helping the boat, yes, they were fantastic. They gave me 4 inches of lift in the back. So now with the float pods, the boat floats 4 inches higher in the water. It gives me a lot better freeboard here, so I'm happy with that. But we still got a little porpoising problem, so what we're going to do, I've made these little trim tabs here. And this is like from my old airboat days. You know, a lot of airboats have a little 1-inch lip on the back, and you can just tap that down a little bit, a 30/32 of an inch, and it'll take the porpoise out of an airboat. So we've made this one. It's going to be on all the way on the back of the float pod here, and that's going to fit right around that plug. I'm going to put a couple more screws. We're going to tap and screw that right in there, and if this works out, we're going to weld them on, make them permanent. But you know, this way, I can bend that down just a little bit and make it happen. So here's for the other side, and I started cutting. We're going to finish this up right now. We're going to make this one, and here's where my cuts are. Let's get it done. That's a little warm. Okay, I'll file those sharp edges, but this should fit just like the other one. Right around this plug here. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's nice. And it's just right even with the bottom boat, if anything, a tad above. So now after this is attached, I can just bend this down to where I need it. You know, I can bend it down a 30/2 of an inch, a 1/4 of an inch, whatever it takes. And I'm gonna follow up on this. We're gonna make a little series out of this and see if this takes the porpoise out of the boat. Being all the way here at the very back like this, I think for sure it will. I'm optimistic. Okay, well, I'm gonna clean this one up and we're gonna get them mounted out here, and then next thing we're gonna do is go for a test drive, see if it works. All right, thanks for joining me. Pretty good about this. Feeling really good about this. Let's see how she works on there. All right, that's good. That's good, fixed right around that drain plug. I'll put 2 more holes in there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna thread and tap. I'm gonna tap and thread, just not get it backwards. I'll drill this out and tap out the holes so I can just screw directly into this. Put a little 5200 3M behind it. And like I said, if this works out as good as I'm hoping, then we'll come back. We'll weld these on, make them permanent. Because you know, if it works, we won't have to take them off. If it doesn't work, well, we'll just weld up them 4 little holes we're going to make. All right, we'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're ready to install it. I've tried to do this 3 times, and every time I've done it, the phones ring. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn this dang phone off. Power off. There. We're also attached to these phones. All right, so I got my starting of a pilot hole here. And that's going to be on the screw first. We're going to get that one tapped and threaded in place and holding that there, even though I've marked my other spots. Just something I've learned. Get that in place, get it, and then use the other holes for a pilot and drill through and make sure it's just right. Okay, let's do that. Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to tap out these other holes. I'm going to do the other side. When I put these on, I'm going to put some 3M 5200 sealant behind it. That stuff is amazing. It'll about hold them on itself when it's dry. And then probably tomorrow, maybe even, we'll take this thing for a ride. We're going to test this out. I'm pretty confident it's going to work. Anyway, you're going to ride with me. We're going to find out. All right, thanks for joining me. Okay, I got my marine sealant on here. 5200 3M marine sealant. This stuff is unbelievable. Just got around the screws this way. I know no water will get into my float pods. These are all threaded now, so they're just going to screw direct in. And like I said, if this works out the way I think it will, I'll just come back and weld these. But for now, we just want them on there for a test. And I'm pretty confident this is going to work. There we go. That looks pretty swanky, huh? That's pretty solid. That's 1/8 thick. That's as thick as these are. They call it 10 gauge. Actually, I think 11 gauge is 1/8, but that's going to do it. You can see I got them down just a little teeny bit. Oh, I don't know how well you can see that. Let's put this underneath there. It's just a little down angle on it. And that should be all it takes. I don't reckon it's going to take much more than that. We'll find out when we go for a boat ride. All right, I'm going to do the other side. And next time you see me, we're going for a boat ride. We're going to do it. Okay, we're going for the test in the John boat. Test out the homemade trim tabs. I was looking for my doggie to put away before I went out, looking for Pepper, and she was already in the back of the truck. How can you say no to that? Guess she's going with us. All right, we'll see you at the lake. Okay, it's plenty enough a windy day. We're gonna have to get the other side of this lake. First test of the homemade trim tabs. They're not much. They extend 4 inches and they're 6 inches wide. But being back on the back side of those float pods, I think it's going to get it done. All right, let me get this thing cranked up and out on the water and we'll get back. All right, we moved to the other side of the lake where the wind's kind of protected from the shore a little bit. It's blowing probably 25, 30 knots out here. Anyways, seems to help. It's better. Still not great. If I try to trim it up, trim the positive trim, it'll still porpoise. Just a little bit negative trim right now, just a little bit, and it's better. Let's show you how it runs. There's Pepper. She always wants to come out on the boat, but then she's got to be right under your feet. All right, back to the drawing board. We're going to do a little more work, see what happens. Thanks for joining me.